Hello everybody and welcome back to another Google Apps for Education Basics video. Today I want to show you how to set up a Google Classroom. So if you press your Google icon or Google Classroom icon, you're going to see a dashboard. This is the setup where you're going to see all your classes. The plus sign at the top right is where you'll go to create a class. Student view, they only can join a class. They can't actually create a class. Only you as a teacher can do that. So we're going to go ahead and give this a title, and again here, if you want to, you can give it a section. This is normally just best if you want to separate your classes out between periods or something like that. So my course has been created, and here's what you see. First, it's on your stream. This is the place where you'll find all of your assignments and questions and discussions. The students page is where you'll actually see the students that are enrolled, and you'll see your class code there. That's what your students will use to enroll in your class. I'll actually share that later so you can see that. You can get into our classroom and play around. And then the right tab is your about page that gets to you and any other teachers you've invited to be collaborators. We're actually going to show you how to create every type of assignment here on your Google Classroom, and then you'll be able to go in and actually play with this stuff too. So on the plus sign on the bottom right gives you all your options. You can create an announcement, an assignment, a question, or you can even reuse a post, which we'll get to momentarily. The very first thing we're going to actually do though is create an announcement. This is where you can do things like attach stuff that you want kids to read, or just general announcements like maybe work on your first assignment or read the attached file. From here you can actually attach things using the paperclip in the top right. As you see here, it connects directly to your drive, links, or you can even connect to your camera. I'm going to go ahead and go into my drive though and just find a random blank document to attach here. So in the announcement part, you can actually only read a document. Students won't be turning anything in here. So this is probably like the best place to maybe have a story you want kids to read, a map you want them to look into. What I'm doing right now actually is adding a unit or a topic. Topics are key if you want to organize your units, and that way it makes it a lot easier for kids to find. So that's an announcement. Now let's go ahead and create an assignment. Under the assignment tab, this is where you have the option for students to work within the Classroom app and turn a document into you. They can also attach their own things. So I'm going to attach a document that I want students to be able to look at, annotate on, put their own answers in, and turn it back into me. Now on the right hand side here, you see a bunch of different options. Students can either edit the file. If you leave it on students can edit the file, especially if this is a Google document, then kids will actually be able to work on just the one document. My choice I actually tend to do is make a copy for each student. That way every kid will get their own copy of the document and they can turn in their own thing. Once you're ready, you're gonna go ahead and go to the top, press the paper airplane, and as you can see now, it shows me how many students have done the assignment, how many students have not. Now this next one is actually a question. This is actually a really cool feature in Google Classroom because you can set up discussion questions and you can choose whether or not kids can see each other's answers, and that's where you can show where they can actually comment on one another, or you can actually set it to where no one can make comments. This is really up to you. This is dependent on the classroom culture you built. Maybe early on you want kids to be able to comment, or maybe you want to take that away early on and then maybe add that back in a little bit later. So those are the three basic options that you'll want to use. Now the top one, the reuse post, this comes in handy a lot. Let's say you create your own course and then you get another section that's the exact same course. You want to be able to actually copy from another course that you've already created. So you hit the reuse post, and that way you can add any of the posts from any other courses that you've created into your Google Classroom. Again, whenever I make a new assignment, I just try to make sure that students get their own copy of the assignment. That way I know that students will be able to have their own copy to write on and make notes on and then turn back into me. going to show you the student view. Again, you'll have access to my class a little bit later, but this is what their class looks like. Again, since I'm a teacher, I have the class option, create a class option, but they'll only have join the class. So I'm going to actually make this a little bit clearer for you to see here. But that's the type in to join the class, and now I'm a part of the class that I just created as a student. I'm going to go ahead and actually tap on one of these assignments here. That way you'll be able to see the actual student view. So this is the announcement here first. If you look at the announcement, I can actually add a comment if I wanted to as a student. Kind of say, hey, I really liked what you posted there. On the assignment, however, this is now where I have the option to turn work in. So I'm going to actually open that document. As you can see, in the top right, I have a little annotation tool, and this gives me the option to mark it up with a marker, a highlighter, or even type on the assignment. So students have a bunch of options. So they have a little pencil tool that they can use to circle or write on the paper. If they like to write instead of type, you can change the color of the pencil there as well. There's also a marker option, which is a little bit different. That first one's more like a pencil or a pen. This is a marker that has a bunch of different colors. The tip is a bit fatter here, so it actually acts like a marker. The next option is a highlight tool, which is actually really important, especially if you want students to annotate text so they can actually interact with the text that way. And then for the students who would rather not write, they can actually type, they can enter their own text boxes onto the document that way. And then once they're done, everything is automatically hit the save button in the top right, and what it'll do is kick them back out and they can go ahead and turn in the document here. Once they turn that in, they get a good check mark that says, hey, it's submitted, and they can actually see that they've done that. Here's the desktop view. From the desktop, you have a few different options. You actually have the opportunity to change the theme of your classroom, which is big for some people. That adds a little layer of customization. You can change the look of it. Other options you have from the desktop version is you can manage students a lot easier. You can also go to the Add a Guardian, which is great. Parents can keep up with their students' progress. And you can also change the class code. That's mainly helpful when you have an ambiguous code that has ones and L's in there. Here's that code again. Go ahead, go in there and play around, see what it looks like for students. Hope this video was helpful for you. Thanks for watching.